Hello, dear students. We are discussing general characteristics of fungi. So, this is the second lecture in that series. In this one, we are going to discuss types of reproduction. So, this is in your paper first, diversity of microbes, and this is your professor Rajdeep Singh Taliwal, your botany professor here. So, regarding fungi, the sexual reproduction, so types of reproduction, part 2 in the general characteristics. In reproduction, fungi generally reproduce by asexual and sexual methods. The type of reproduction called vegetative is included under category of asexual reproduction. So, when we discuss fungi and we discuss reproduction, there are two type of methods. One are asexual and other is sexual. Under the vegetative reproduction comes under asexual method. The plant body is unicellular complete. If the plant body is unicellular, and complete vegetative cell may transform into reproductive body, it is called as holocarpic mode. And if the portion of the vegetative thallus is transformed into reproductive structure, the condition is called as eucarpic. So when we discuss asexual reproduction, the kind of reproduction which does not involve meiosis, that is reduction division, and fusion of nucleus is called as asexual reproduction. So there is no reduction division, there is no reduction in the number of chromosomes, and then the fusion of gametes is then it is asexual. And it happens, these things happen in the sexual reproduction, no doubt. So it occurs, the asexual reproduction occurs by following methods. Number one is fragmentation. In fragmentation, the fungal mycelium gets broken into smaller fragments accidentally or through external force. Then each fragment develops into new individual. This is called as fragmentation. Second is budding. The parent cell produces one or more bud-like protuberances which detach from the parent cell and grew into new individual. The example is yeast. In the yeast, the nucleus divides and then the part of the division, after division, one part goes to the bud and then the mother cell and the bud cell, two cells are formed, and then the bud cell detaches itself from the parent cell and grow into new individual. The third type is fission. The parent cell splits into two equal halves by a constriction and formation of cell wall, and each half develops into two new individuals. And this is explained, the budding you can see in the top diagram, and there is vacuole, there is nucleus. Then in the second stage of budding, the developing bud is there, nucleus is dividing, then the cell wall formation is there and the two cells are formed. And in the lower diagram you can see the nucleus is dividing and it is a fission. The parent cell simply splits into two halves by a constriction, or it is constriction and formation of cell wall, and then the two cells are formed. So it is, example is bacteria and yeast. And then the fourth type is oidea. The hyphae breaks up into its component cells or small pieces which behave like spores. That is called as oidea. The oidea are generally thin-walled. Example is in the case of mucor. In the diagram, the lower left, you can see the oidea formation. The hyphae is breaking up into component cells, small pieces which behave like spores called oidea, and they germinate. These oidea, the thin walled, they are thin walled, they don't have stored reserve food, they germinate after liberation and can't survive under unfavorable conditions. They are very thin walled, so they can't survive under unfavorable conditions. And the fifth one is chlamydospores. These are thick walled resting cells produced in same manner as oidea. Example is Ascomycota, but they are thick walled and they store reserve food material and are capable of withstanding long unfavorable conditions. That is why they are thick walled, and they have some, they are like resting cells. And then next is sixth is spores. Fungi reproduce most commonly by production of spores. Then under this category, they are minute propagating units. They vary in shape, these spores, size and color in different individuals. And there are two type of asexual spores: sprangiospores and conidia. The sprangiospore produce inside a sac-like structure called as Sprangia. Example is Rhizophus. You can see the lower left diagram. The Sprangia, the columella, and the spores are produced. And B is Conidia. They are non-motile spores produced singly or in chains by constriction at the tip or the lateral side of hyphae or a branch known as conidiophore. And you can see the lower right diagram. Conidiophore, they form maculae, sterigmata, and then the conidia are formed. And these are the structures for asexual reproduction. The Conidiophores, they are also called as what we call as endospores. If non-motile, they are known as aplanospores. Example is mucor and rhizopus. And if they are motile, then known as zoospores. They can be uniflagellate or biflagellate, and these can be of different types. In the sexual reproduction, it occurs in all groups except fungi imperfecti. It involves union of two compatible nuclei and of opposite sex at a definite stage in the life history of fungus. This is very important. Two compatible nuclei, that is the compatibility, that's plus minus, male, female, opposite types. So two type of opposite sex strains, plus minus strain, we call it by many names, and they come together at a definite stage in the life history of fungus, and then they reproduce. The sexual reproduction in fungi, it completes in three phases. Number one is plasmogamy, fusion of two protoplasts, which brings two compatible nuclei together. Then they form a dikaryon, also known as dikaryotization. Second is karyogamy. It is the fusion of two compatible nuclei brought together as a result of plasmogamy. Results diploid nucleus, that is known as synkaryon. Third is meiosis, that we know that it is a reduction division and formation of haploid nuclei. So modes of sexual reproduction. Number one is planogametic copulation. The motile in planogametic copulation, the motile that is flagellated as it moves with the help of flagella, that is why they are called motile gametes, are called planogametes. In this category, the sexual reproduction, either one or both the fusing gametes are motile. That is, if the both are motile, then both are flagellated. If one is motile, that means that is flagellated. So motility is related to flagella, as we have explained earlier. So planogametic copulation may further be grouped under three categories: anisoplanogametic copulation, isoplanogametic copulation, and gametangial contact. So in anisoplanogametic copulation, when the two fusing gametes are flagellated and morphologically similar but differ in size. So anisoplanogametic copulation, I again repeat, when the two fusing gametes are flagellated and morphologically similar but differ in size. So you can see here the diagram: isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. The isogamous both are of same size, and anisogamous one is bigger size, motile female gamete is of bigger size, and motile male gamete of smaller size. And in the oogamous, you can see the motile male gamete of very small size, female non-motile female gamete is of bigger size. So we can explain this with the help of diagram. So in anisoplanogametic, when two fusing gametes are flagellated and are morphologically similar but differ in size. Isoplanogametic, when both fusing gametes are flagellated and morphologically similar. You can see on the left is isogamous, number two is anisogamous, and third is oogamous, that is ooplanogametic. When the male gamete are flagellated, you can see the oogamous type, the extreme right diagram. When the male gametes are flagellated, the sperms we call, and female gametes non-flagellated, we call them ovum or egg. This is the oogamous type. So when the two fusing gametes are flagellated, morphologically similar but differ in size, that is anisogamous. When the two fusing gametes are flagellated and morphologically similar, then we call them as isogamous. So this is explained. Point 2 is gametangial contact. So first is planogametic copulation, second is gametangial contact. It is a kind of oogamous reproduction where the male gametangia are called as antheridia and female as oogonia. The gametes are non-motile planogametes which are never released from gametangia. So the male are called as antheridia, female are oogonia or escogonia. The gametes are non-motile, planogametes which never get released from gametangia. So male and female, they come together, gametangia come in contact with each other, and male gametangium sends tubular outgrowth. You can see in the diagram, the male gametangium sends tubular outgrowth known as fertilization tube. You see in the left diagram, that piece passes through the wall of the female gametangium. The male nucleus enters into the female. In this, two gametangia do not fuse with each other. So example is in the case of albugo, phytophthora, and pythium. In the diagram, you can see in the left one there is fertilization tube is formed, and then the empty antheridium is shown. That means the male gametangium has sent the nucleus into the oogonium. Third is gametangial copulation. In this, two gametangia fuse with each other and lose their identity in this sexual act. Example is in the case of Rhizopus and Mucor. You can see in the diagram there are two strains, plus strain, minus strain, male, female, plus, minus. That is the sexual reproduction, how it occurs. So plus strain, minus strain, they come together, they form isogametangia. Firstly they form progametangium in the left diagram, then in the second from left it is isogametangia are formed, then they turn into suspensor and fusion cell is formed, and in the right, extreme right, the zygospore is formed. This is the gametangial copulation type of sexual fusion in the fungi. Fourth is spermatization. Spermatization. Some fungi produce numerous minute uninucleate spore-like male bodies known as spermatia. In a specialized structure known as spermagonium, these are transferred through various agencies to receptive hyphae or somatic hyphae treated as female gametangia. So there are some receptive hyphae which are treated as female gametangia. It is in the case of Puccinia graminis. You can see the spermatization on the left and somatogamy on the right. The spermatium are formed, then the escogonium are formed, trichogyne are formed, and the fusion occurs. And there is on the right the somatogamy is happening, which is the next explanation we are going to discuss. In the somatogamy, or we call pseudogamy, in this mode sex organs are not formed and the fusion occurs between two vegetative cells, that is called as dikaryoticization. Example are Pizziza, Astilago, and Agaricus. You can see on the right diagram, this is somatogamy. It is explained next, or pseudogamy, where you can see again the right diagram, somatogamy. The sex organs are not formed and the fusion occurs between two vegetative cells. So this is somatogamy, are called as pseudogamy, and examples are Pizziza and Astilago. So this is all about the sexual reproduction or the reproduction in fungi, the both modes, asexual and sexual mode. In the next lectures, we will discuss more features about fungi. So thank you all of you. Keep discussing about the syllabus, keep discussing within each other, try to make all the diagrams, and if you have any doubts you can contact me anytime. It's your professor Rajdeep Singh Taliwal. Thank you.